When doing a basic installation on a vehicle, there's some accessories you're going to need when you're doing a hard mount kit. Bolting in the vehicle, bolting in the air tank, we now have to connect them air tubing wise for your air hose and also electrically. So some of the basic parts that we'll be using on an installation, for example, like on the Super Duty, your power cable. For the Extreme Air Magnum, we would use a 4-gauge cable. Positive and negative, we use welding cable. We haven't found anything better. It's very, very flexible. You can go around corners, very sharp, but it's very high quality. It works great. It's fairly inexpensive. This is your relay. The relay is what controls the compressor turning on and off. The heavy amperage runs in from one side and out the other. This is the switching post. The switching post is controlled by your pressure switch, and the pressure switch measures the air pressure in the tank and tells the relay when to turn on and off. So for example, as soon as the pressure hits 90 psi in your air system, the pressure switch tells the relay, hey, let some electricity back to the compressor. It turns the compressor on, lets it run at 125 psi, for example. It turns off and waits for you to use the air. So in a properly functioning vehicle with an air system, you should jump in the morning and you should have 125 psi in your tank before you even start the truck, because without leaks, the air doesn't go anywhere. So it's always there ready for you to use. Whenever we're installing an electrical component, we always use fuses or circuit breakers. This is a 80 amp circuit breaker that's manually resettable. It's got a reset button to reset it if you ever had a short. This one happens to be waterproof. You want to mount this as close to the battery as feasible. You don't want this main power cable going 10 feet or 12 feet to the back of the truck with nothing protecting it from shorts. So you want it very close to the battery at the beginning of the run. That way this whole cable is protected in case it ever gets cut or shorted out. When we're doing connections of airline, we use a DOT 3/8 inch brake line tubing. We use push-to-connect DOT connectors. These are great. They connect without any tools. You can take them apart when you remove the pressure. These are solid brass. The DOT rating means that they have an inner liner to keep this from ever crushing or collapsing. You can find these in chrome, you can find them in plastic. We stick with the solid DOT brass units. They've never failed, they've been fantastic. They're just the best that we can find. So to connect it, you make sure your air tubing is cut straight up and down, not at an angle, and to push them in, and they're connected. You can't release it. If you do need to release it or make adjustments, the outer ring, you push in on it and it pops right back out. It releases the clamping jaws on the inside. So it's very simple to connect your air system together once you have the compressor bolted in and your air tank bolted in. And these fittings come in elbows, T's, unions, a T with a swivel. So this one could be mounted in an air tank, and one port in a tank can give you 2 outlets to different parts of the truck. The bulkhead fitting allows you to pass air through steel. It again accepts the air tubing. Once it's locked into place, what your eye sees from outside the truck is this, which is a 1/4 inch NPT female threaded hole. You screw in your air chuck, and this is where you would access your air, whether it's at the front grille of your truck, on the bumper, on the frame rail, or in the rear of the truck. You can have one coming out the front, out the back, out the sides. The choice is up to you and how you want to set up your air system. So the whole system integrates. So once you bolt in the tank and the compressor, the majority of it is actually plug and play. Once you cut your hose to length, it just snaps in. Once you cut your cables to length, the kit comes with a crimp kit and heat shrink tubing. Everything's sized for 5/16, 1/4 inch, whatever the eyes are. It's already designed in the kit. So it's a very quick installation. Toughest part is installing the tank and the compressor, deciding where you want to mount it. Once that's done, everything else is plug and play.